We apologize for the difficulties. I'm just waiting on Shandre to accept. There we go.
Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Sorry about that.
How are you?
Hello. I think we're breaking up here.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay. We're gonna jump straight into our questions. I'm Caitlin, by the way.
Nice to meet you, Caitlin.
Nice to meet you. Shandre, can you tell us a bit more about your background, please?
Oh, sure. So I was born and bred in Bellville South. That's in Cape Town. So I
Yeah.
went to the local primary school here, and then something happened at the primary school, quite tragic, where a girl was killed, and then we moved to the Model C schools and went to Fritz High Primary School, and then from there went to Bellville Technical High School, and then went on to study at Stellenbosch University.
Shandre, who inspired you to get where you are today?
Well, I think it's a family affair. My grandfather played cricket and rugby for the colored national sides back in the day. My grandmother played netball, my father rugby, and my mother was an athlete. So I think it's more of the
Yeah.
family, and just seeing obviously a lot of people on TV that you want to aspire to be like.
Can you tell us a bit more about your support system?
Yeah, so I've got really good family and friends around me. Like my mother and father have always been quite supporting. So whatever I wanted to take on, they were happy that I do it, provided that I followed through. So I've always had the support of my family, my friend, my partners. So that's
Yeah.
and also the community of cricket people and sport people that have been involved in school, teachers, especially teachers. They played a big role in me being where I am today.
Yeah. And then, Shandre, what do you think is your best cricket memory?
My best cricket memory is probably being the first South African to score a T20 100. That was in 2010. It was against the Netherlands
Yeah,
in Potchefstroom. So that's my favorite memory because I was the first.
the first woman. So
No,
you've played
no, no,
international women's cricket.
the first South African, the men
The
and
first
women.
South African, yeah.
Yes, yes,
Um,
yes.
so you've played international women's cricket for over 11 years. Can you take us through your journey playing for South
Yeah,
Africa?
yeah, of course, it was a major honor because I was only 17 at the time and I was still at school. So it was quite cool to leave school, as you know, and then go on tour and that type of thing.
Yeah,
But it's been up and down, mostly good because at that stage there weren't that very many opportunities for females to do sport internationally, and we had the opportunity to play
yeah,
amateur, of course, and so only from time to time you get a stipend, but you get to see the whole world and then meet a lot of people. So the only tough thing was really playing so little cricket. So we played
yeah,
one incoming, one outgoing tour a year, a whole season. So we didn't play all
wow,
that often. Yeah, so you still had to work,
yeah.
go to school, and study,
And
etc. Exactly.
yeah,
So we were multitasking from the get-go.
yeah. Um, Chandra, if you could spend one day with a world-class cricket player, who would it be and why?
So I've been fortunate to spend some time with the people that I wanted to spend time with. I actually had breakfast with Laura Wolfart yesterday, and that was amazing. Yeah, so I
Okay.
spend, and my favorite cricketer is Jacques Callis. I've also spent some time with him already, but
Yeah.
currently, what I want to spend time with would probably be um, Meg Lanning as a captain because she's won so many World Cups, and I would just like to understand their thought processes and what makes her get a team up for all the tough moments all the time. Because what you find with them is that with the Australian team and with Mick Lanning as a leader is that they typically lose series, but when it comes to World Cup, they are just on, and on all
Really,
the time,
really.
fearless.
Yeah.
Yes, 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 yeah. So that's the first.
So, yeah, you have accomplished a lot. We've seen you, we've heard about the things you've done. How do you motivate young women to strive for their goals or reach their goals?
Well, my thing has always been, you've got one life to live. I mean, you might as well be exceptional at it. I mean, we have the opportunity
Yeah,
now in the modern era where all these different spheres we weren't supposed to be in back in the day are now open to us. And so why not go after it?
exactly.
I mean, we've got this one
And
life.
give it your best.
Hey, you might as well,
Yeah.
you know, you might as well.
Um, so you've been appointed as match referee for the CSA in 2019. Can you tell us how that
Yes.
happened?
So, funny story. I never knew what a match referee
Yeah.
was, except the person that tosses the coin initially. When you're a player, you're in a bit of a bubble, so you don't really worry too much about what else is happening. I was actually coaching the men's side at UWC, and the president of Western Province Umpiring Association arrived there, and he said, "Well, would you think about being a match referee?" I was like, "First of all, what's that?" And that person that tosses
What's
the
that?
coin, and then they were like, so yeah, and then from there they said, "Would you try it out?" I said, "Sure, no problem." I mean, I'm always keen to learn a bit more. And then from there, I went to a girls' week. I worked with a few people at different tournaments, and then yeah, I just took off from there. Again, I never saw this path for myself at all. I've always just wanted to be
Yeah.
the national. It didn't matter if it was men or
Cricket.
women. I just wanted to be a national coach. Yes, of a cricket team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you have played cricket for over 10 years now, and it's professional. Is there anything else that you would have chose, or like a different career path you would have chosen? Anything else you'd like to do, maybe?
Again, I went to Stellenbosch. I got in as a civil engineer because I really like engineering. Um,
Okay.
yeah, but the problem is when you're an engineer, you cannot up and leave for 6 weeks or a month or two at a
Yeah.
time. Then in the line at Stellenbosch, I decided to change to education so that I could have a bit more leniency. So yeah, so I would have
Yeah.
been an engineer had I not been a cricketer.
That's brilliant. Um,
Yeah.
okay. So what do you do in your free time? Is there anything besides cricket, obviously?
Oh, very difficult. I actually am quite a bit of a history nut. I like the World War II side of things. So I go
Yeah.
through that. I've got quite a lot of literature on that. So I read quite a bit. I haven't had time when I was playing to read a bit quite as much. I read quite biographies, and I'm actually still struggling through the Ricky Ponting biography. It's massive. They call it the Bible, but you've got to take it in. You
Oh,
can't just read it all in one go. And then at the moment,
no.
yeah. So at the moment, I'm studying the laws of cricket. So obviously as a match referee, as a custodian of cricket, you have to know the law back
Yeah.
to front, and it's quite tedious and it's quite intricate. As you can see, there's always new amendments coming out. So that is my baby at the
Yeah.
moment. Yeah.
Um, yeah. So I have a question, but I feel like you already answered it when I asked you about your best memory. But how
Yes.
did it feel? How does it feel to be the first South African lady, obviously, to score a T20 century against Netherlands?
Well, you don't go out there thinking you can score a ton. I mean, it just happens on the day. I mean,
Yeah.
I suppose the preparation that it's gone before then. You just want to perform for your side, and then when it does happen, you're like, oh, shibbit, is this
It
real?
happened.
Did I just do that? So it's surreal. I mean, it's just nice because of all the hard work that's gone in prior to that, and to then get that
Yeah.
accolade is just a bonus.
Well, if you put the work in, then it will work out.
Of course.
So you've won the award as South Africa's Women's Cricketer of the Year in 2012. Describe the
Yeah.
feeling or the emotions you went through at the time.
First of all, straight up, you'll just tear up because it's
Yeah,
quite an achievement. I think in any walk of life, if you get recognized for all the hard work you put in, because you just think about the times that you were thinking all these bad thoughts about, geez, why is this guy putting me through all of this and challenging me, and why do I have to go run now, and why do I have to pass this fitness
yeah,
test, and Why do you have to read up on all these things? And then you look back and on all of that and then you realize, okay, this is why. This is why I did all
It
of
was
that.
worth it.
It was worth it, absolutely. And again, nothing happens without you putting in the work, as we all know. I mean, there's no
Exactly.
magic.
Yeah.
There's no magic button that you press to say, okay, yeah, I want excellence. I want to be the best. Oh, it's hard work
Yeah.
is the magic.
And no one else is gonna do it for you anyway,
You
so
cannot do, someone else cannot do it for you.
no. So my last question,
Yeah.
is there any advice for for the young people out there or for the next upcoming cricket stars?
There are no limits out there, and do some research as to what you want to do. Find out who you are
Yeah.
first as an individual, what your strengths and weaknesses are, and do something that scares you. Because I mean,
Yeah.
again, my motto is we got one life to live. We might as well be exceptional at it. My biggest fear is being average, and so I just try and do the best I can. That's it. Nothing magic.
That is actually something that's gonna stick with me from now on.
Oh wow.
But thank you so much for your time.
It's okay.
It was nice speaking to you.
Nice.
And thank you guys for tuning in on another Double Cricket Academy's interview. We
Thank
will
you.
see you guys next time. Thank you, Shandre.
Cheers. Keep well.
Bye. You